It's halfway point this week, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Pat McGuigan from CapitolBeatOK.com joins us now with a look at the halfway point. Pat, good morning. Today is the halfway point. Where are we on the budget?
Well, it's a mess. The range of the shortfall after applying stimulus money and the rainy day fund is a matter of some debate, although it's somewhere between 700 and 850 million, perhaps a little less if natural gas prices pick up, for example. So you have a real problem. And I guess you could say that some of the legislators are beginning to lead by example, because Senator Coffey, in his discussions with those of us in the press corps last week, indicated that there would at least be furloughs of full-time Senate staff, and there might be some voluntary buyouts, and we'll see if they go beyond that. So the legislature itself, as they begin to look even at per diem payments for the legislators, is beginning to apply the budget discipline very much to itself.
Pat, I want to make sure I heard you clearly there. After using the rainy day fund and after using stimulus funds, it looks like we're still going to be up to 850 million short for the next budget?
That's the way that I've looked at the numbers. Some people have been putting it lower, and I respect those. I've been seeing 700 million a lot, regardless of how you look at it. And again, there could be optimistic scenarios if nat gas prices stay off.
Right.
We could get that down into the 600 million plus range. But yes, that's a pretty sober number. You're looking at, we've discussed before, at least 10%, perhaps closer to 12% cuts on the average across the state government. And what's beginning to be discussed is that some of those agencies that were comparatively exempted last time will face more cuts this time. I'm talking about education and public safety, for example.
And that's if they get it down to the 600 million, still 10 to 12% cuts across the board, you think?
No, in order to get there, they're going to have to, well, let's put it this way. Yes, your original question is correct, because the budget has to be balanced by law. Now, there may be some offsetting revenue enhancements in the form of getting rid of some of the tax credits. That's beginning to become a live round, if you will, that's got some real discussion going. So it might not all be budget cuts.
Are we looking at the last week of the session before this gets all straightened out, or are we going to get some action going pretty quick?
It might be the last week. That wouldn't be unusual. Having said that, we're only halfway through, as you put it, and the governor and the two leaders, Speaker Benj and President Pro Tem Coffey, began having face-to-face discussions last week, and that's relatively early. In a normal year, you probably wouldn't see that till towards the end. There's a lot of debate and argument going on the floor, a lot of press releases back and forth between the contending sides, so this issue is very much engaged now.
All right, Pat McGuigan, his website, CapitolBeatOK.com, if you want more information of what he discussed here, and also other articles that Pat puts forward on a daily basis. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
6:30.